The greatest event in world history occurred over 2,000 years ago. There have been lots of artistic representations, but many of them don't seem right, despite the obvious devotion of artists. The scenes and actions depicted just do not work. For example, the cross in these pictures is surely too big. These ones don't look realistic. I think about the crucifixion and wonder how it really was, how the events played out, beyond the basics recorded in the Gospel accounts. For example, how big was Jesus' cross? The crossbeam had to be around 6 feet, the arm span of a man. I think it had to be flat, because it's hard to nail into a round piece of wood, as depicted in these pictures. Maybe it was a square beam, but I think more likely it was like a plank. How high was the upright? The Gospel accounts relate that when Jesus said, "I thirst," he was offered a sponge on a stick, so his mouth must have been out of reach, probably 9 feet from the ground. Add a foot above, because he was hanging, space for a notice above, and at least 2+ feet for where the cross was set on the ground, then the upright would have to have been at least 13 foot long, like this piece of wood. Now add a crossbeam. This is a piece of wood in those dimensions. What sort of wood? Possibly cedar or pine or cypress. If Jesus' cross was cedar, it would be very, very heavy and probably expensive. However, pine or cypress would be cheaper and a little bit lighter in weight, but still heavy to carry. Now, here's a point. Jesus could not have carried the whole cross. It's just too heavy. These depictions can't be accurate. When the Gospels say he took up his cross, they must have meant that he carried the crossbeam only. And that would be heavy enough, considering he had been beaten and scourged, and had no sleep for days, probably only a little to eat at the Last Supper. Just this beam weighs around 30 kilos, around 70 pounds, and I'd stumble trying to carry it too far uphill. The path Jesus trod was about 600 yards, or 500 or so meters, a long way for a man already injured to carry a heavy weight. So Jesus carried the beam of the cross to Calvary. The weight was more than enough to cause extremes of suffering.